Who among us has seen the critically acclaimed movie Straight Outta Compton? My name is Vincent, and today I'm going to take you into the controversial film. I'm going to focus on the rap group NWA and the struggles that the group went through with manager Jerry Heller, and how there were two villains that ultimately changed the gangster rap and hip hop world for the positive. Sit back and enjoy the ride. You're now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. I've been researching documents and listening to the interviews of rap group NWA and have come into a few conclusions. However accurate the motion picture is to reality, there is still a bit that gets left out. The main points I will focus on will be the handling / managerial skills and background of Jerry Heller, the corruption of Marion Knight, aka Suge Knight, and the success of the individuals which they brought to the entertainment industry. Group NWA was originally composed of rappers Eric Wright, aka Eazy-E, O'Shea Jackson, known as Ice Cube, Andre Young as Dr. Dre, and in the movie Straight Outta Compton we also see Lorenzo Patterson, known as MC Ren, and Antoine Carey, known as DJ Yella. Rapper Tracy Curry, also known as the DOC, chronologically does not come into the group until much later after being brought over from Texas. But for now, that's who started the film. Kim Nazelle, known as in the rap world as Arabian Prince, was also a member of the group, but for some reason was left out of the motion pictures. Reasons unknown. Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre's initial stint with music was as a DJ at the local club, The Eve After Dark. It was during this time that he took up the moniker Dr. Dre. In 1984, Dr. Dre began his musical career as a member of the musical group World Class Wrecking Crew. The group soon dominated the electro-hop scene in the West Coast with their single Surgery, selling more than 50,000 copies within Compton alone. In 1986, he, along with Eazy-E and Ice Cube, formed the rap group NWA. NWA's debut album sold more than 2 million copies. In 1991, he co-founded Death Row Records with Suge Knight. In 1996, Dr. Dre would leave Death Row and quickly start up Aftermath Entertainment. He has been ranked number 56 on Rolling Stone's 100 Greatest Artists of All Time. And to this day, he is estimated a net worth of $810 million. Our next focus is Ice Cube. NWA released Eazy-E's single Boys in the Hood in 1987. Cube was just 18 when he penned the song before collaborating with DJ turned producing prodigy, Dre, on much of NWA's debut album Straight Outta Compton. A national tour followed, but so did arguments over credit, contracts, and compensation. With Eazy and manager Jerry Heller, Ice made his split from the group and flew to New York to record his debut solo album, America's Most Wanted, before his 21st birthday. Cube stated in an interview with the Daily Beast, "I wanted to show the business broke us up. It wasn't ego. It wasn't people being greedy. It was just that you wanted what you deserved. To show people that the music business is a business. If you don't handle it, it could go south and go bad for you. It was a behind the veil look at what we were dealing with internally and what broke us up ultimately." Cube left NWA to launch a solo career that gave him his own clique, his own label, Lynch Mob Records. Cube stated Heller was always a champion for the group. When it was NWA versus the world, Jerry Heller would fight. Not dealing with us individually was a different story. Ice Cube's net worth today is $140 million, estimated. Our next focus is Eazy-E. Eric Wright used his income to co-found a label called Ruthless Records with music industry insider Jerry Heller. Eazy then teamed up with two other youngsters, O'Shea Jackson and Andre Young, who started making songs for Wright's label. After another Ruthless group opted out to not record a song by Cube and Andre, Eazy joined with the two-man recorded and Boys in the Hood as NWA. With other rap artists such as DJ Yella, MC Ren, and the DOC joining, the group then released its debut album, NWA and the Posse, in 1987, dropping its next album, Straight Outta Compton, in 1988. Eazy released his solo album, Eazy Does It, that same year. Ice Cube left the group in 1989, and NWA disbanded soon after in 1991. Although Ice Cube split from the group early on to eventually start his own label, artists Dr. Dre and the DOC left as well, forming together with future record mogul Suge Knight to co-found Death Row Records. Suge Knight never had an entertainer's background before he started promoting venues and working as security. Suge grew up in a gangbang lifestyle with a promising athletic background. Always keeping ties to his upbringing was a way he chose to help motivate his competition to never get in his way. Suge went to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas on an athletic scholarship to play football for the school. He's an all-time defensive end for the school, and Suge eventually was drafted by the Los Angeles Rams, but was cut before the season started, playing only 2 games in the 1987 season during the strike. Soon after, he made his way into security with his natural athletic ability and stature as a concert promoter and security for Bobby Brown. It was said in a documentary by MTV called Life on Death Row that Suge and a couple of his friends roughed up Eazy-E and made statements that they would kill his mother and had manager Jerry Heller hostage, strong-arming Eazy into signing over Dr. Dre and the DLC so that the 3 of them could co-found Death Row Records together. A big step into Suge's rise to power was allegedly forcing Vanilla Ice to sign over points from his hit song Ice Ice Baby, which he was told was ghostwritten by his client Mario Johnson, and Ice never paid out. Roughly an equivalent amount of about $3 million, as told in the documentary Life on Death Row. One can only assume that this helped finance the beginnings of Death Row Records. I would consider Suge Knight to be very influential and necessary for his role in growing the rap culture on the West Coast. I could never agree with his tactics, obviously, but he had a mind for the business and knew what would make exceptional music. In fact, he had a lot of similarity with Jerry Heller. Both had different tactics and still desired the same outcome: money, and not a care of how they got it or what morals were broken to receive it. My last point, Jerry Heller. Jerry Heller was actually a 40-year-old vet in the music business far before ever meeting Eric Wright in the group that would soon be called NWA. Jerry Heller was born into a Jewish family, and it was said that his father had a low-level position as a Jewish mobster. After the Army, Jerry attended the University of Southern California while working at the entertainment business at Coast Artists. Before NWA he had worked alongside Black Sabbath, Humble Pie, The Who, and other songwriters such as Van Morrison, all under the company he co-started, Helter Official Agency, later buying out Official. With Eazy-E, Heller co-founded Ruthless Records and signed the rap group NWA. Heller didn't dispute that when Cube left NWA in 1989, he wasn't exactly living like a rap star. In fact, he was still living with his parents in South Central LA, doing the dishes and everything. This despite the fact that he was a performer, songwriter on both NWA's debut Straight Outta Compton and Eazy-E's Easy Does It, both released in '88, which would sell more than 5 million albums combined. By the middle of '89, Cube had received only $32,700 in album royalties and a bit less than that amount for performing on NWA's first national tour. This might not sound like a lot of money, but Heller countered the delays between album sales and artist payouts are common, and reasonably noted that Cube had profited millions from Straight Outta Compton in the decade since its release. David Cormier, a longtime record company executive who worked with Ruthless Records, seconded that assertion. It takes a long time and most artists never recoup. Ice Cube did in fact recoup. It just took a long time, he said. Heller claimed that both his and Cube's legal teams audited Ruthless accounting and found no irregularities. Dr. Dre, meanwhile, produced platinum and gold albums for Ruthless as JJ Fad, NWA, Eazy-E, The DLC, and Michelle Lay in the late 1980s and 1990s, generating tens of millions of dollars in sales. It's unclear how much Dre was paid in total, but Heller told Rolling Stones Dre made about $86,000 from Ruthless in '92, a figure that seems almost comically low. I cannot directly find anything saying manager Jerry Heller stole, committed fraud, or anything of the sorts. It seems like Jerry only took advantage of a young group not knowing the industry and having them sign contracts that were most definitely not in their benefit. The morals were set aside so that maximum personal financial gain could be obtained. However, without the industry knowledge and know-how, the rap group NWA would have had a hard time being as successful in the mainstream media as they were. Personally, I wish Jerry could have stayed away from the group, so that possibly we would have been fortunate enough to live through many more collaborations from the group. The Scrupulous, to say the least, Suge Knight had another big role to play in the rap group NWA and the West Coast rap genre as a whole. Thank you for taking your time with me. That was Straight Out Confidence.